Welcome to your Time Management Revolution. This is Time Management Fixer Helene Segura. In today's episode, I'll be sharing a previously recorded interview during which we're discussing time management and mind management. Enjoy!
Welcome to Movies, Music, Momentum, Time Management Lessons Uncovered in Pop Culture. In each episode, we take a look at a movie or song and uncover the time management lessons in it that will help give you the momentum to keep moving forward in life. Maybe you need that little push to keep going, or that pause to step back and examine a situation from a different perspective. Or maybe you need to come to the realization that you have accomplished a goal, but you haven't yet taken the time to celebrate it. No matter why you're here, let's have some fun discovering movies, music, and momentum. My name is Helene Segura. My company is Living Order SA, and I am a time management fixer. I'm so glad you're here. Today's episode is all about The Accountant. It stars Ben Affleck as Christian Wolf, the accountant, Anna Kendrick as Dana Cummings, and she plays an in-house accountant in a prosthetic company which is run by John Lithgow's character. Now, Dana finds some oddities with the numbers in that company, and that's what causes Lithgow's character, Lamar Blackburn, to hire the accountant. Also starring in this flick is J.K. Simmons as a director in the Treasury Department and Cynthia Addai-Robinson as a Treasury analyst. You'll see John Bernthal and Jeffrey Tambor's names listed on this particular cover that I'm showing you. And if I tell you who they play, that might spoil it just a bit if you do plan to watch this for the very first time. The Accountant was written by Bill Dubuque. If you're a cynic like me, you might call this a sharp original script in a sea of Hollywood remakes, franchises, and book-to-film projects. Gavin O'Connor directed this movie, which runs right at about 2 hours. Fun fact, Steve Mnuchin, our current Secretary of the Treasury of the United States of America, was one of this film's producers. Being a movie producer was his day job after leaving banking and before being tapped by the current president to serve in the cabinet. The Accountant was released in October of 2016. If you like details about box office totals, the film had an estimated budget of $44 million and grossed $155 million worldwide. Instead of telling you the entire summary of the movie plot, because I think I would give away way too much if I did that, I'm going to be sharing one of the official trailers. As usual, as we've discovered in other episodes, there's only one little snag with doing this. Sharing a video during video conferencing, it doesn't always work. So you might end up seeing a stilted slideshow. And what I'll do is in this portal for this particular episode, I will be sure to post the original version of the trailer so that way you can see it in its unstilted glory. Here is the official trailer for The Accountant from Warner Brothers.
Your son is a remarkable young man. He has highly advanced cognitive skills. He has more in common with Einstein or Mozart than he does with us. I'd like to work with your son. Help him develop the skills he'll need to lead a full life.
Do you like puzzles? Tell me what you see. It was taken 3 years ago by an undercover agent.
It's the same person.
He was spotted in Tehran, Tel Aviv, and Naples. This guy...
You're different. Sooner or later, different scares people.
I have difficulty socializing with other people, even though I want to.
people looking for you.
If their secrets get too big, killing you may be the cost of doing business. If you go down this road, you can't go back.
Some of my clients are quite dangerous.
Why would your clients follow you? You're an accountant. We have to go to the police.
Police can't protect you.
So who is he?
The accountant.
Like a CPA accountant?
Not quite.
If you're watching this, you might be a movie buff. So am I. One of the ways I relax is by watching a movie. After I watch, I love to totally nerd out. I can't help myself. I look for symbolism, metaphors, and deeper meanings. Sometimes I catch myself doing this even after watching a mindless Adam Sandler comedy. Even though it's Hollywood and totally make-believe, we can walk away with lessons from what entertains us. Time management is all about mind management because it's your brain that decides how you'll use every single second of every single minute of every single day. This is the message that I share every single time because if I can brainwash this into you, then you will have time management skills for the rest of your life because you get it. It's your brain that decides whether you're going to react in the moment or respond rationally. And if time management is all about mind management, then the more we understand how our brains operate, the better skilled we will be at what we call this whole time management thing. Let's take a look at the life lessons learned from the accountant, which will help give you the momentum you need to improve your productivity even more. Lesson number 1 is everyone is different. This is something you most likely learned when you were a kid. It's usually a lesson taught in children's television shows, videos, and books. But something happens along the way in life, and we forget this. In The Accountant, Christian Wolfsfather takes it to the total extreme when he preaches to his son, different scares people. We forget that everyone has different knowledge and skills levels in various areas. When we forget, we might judge that person's differentness as less than or somehow negative. If you're doing this with someone you work with, this perspective can taint every interaction you have with that person. For example, when I've walked my seminar participants through an exercise of examining their time thieves in the office, the people they originally surmised were their thieves were usually the folks they found to be different, or they had a negative perspective about that person. But when I had them calculate the loss of time each person in their office caused by interruptions, it was actually the people they liked the best who were their actual time thieves. Everyone is different. Remember this when you form perspectives or opinions that could possibly lower your productivity. Next lesson. Limiting your scope of tools can limit your improvement and success. Sometimes tools you think should be used by quote-unquote certain populations wouldn't help you. People with and without labels might have the exact same characteristics. In the case of the accountant, the label I'm referring to is Asperger's syndrome, which is a diagnosis on the autism spectrum. When someone is officially diagnosed and labeled with this, you can rattle off a label to explain away how they are. For example, oh, he has Asperger's, so he won't talk much to you. It somehow makes that person acceptable because you can explain it away. The same can be found with ADD or ADHD or even traumatic brain disorder. But sometimes individuals who do not meet the diagnosis criteria display very similar characteristics. But because they don't come with a label that can't explain them away, they're not given the same modifications or tools as someone with a diagnosis. Case in point, plenty of people get distracted and lose focus, yet they would never think to research tools for those diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. Yet those same tools will help anyone who loses focus. Or you can broaden this scope of thinking. Nixing a certain platform or tool because it's only used in, say, the restaurant industry when you're in the construction industry might be closing you off from possible productivity solutions. Be open to other methods and tools in order to improve your time management skills. And lesson number 3. Understanding work styles should be a part of any team building process. In The Accountant, Christian Wolff liked to marathon, meaning he worked best when he worked around the clock without stopping until he finished. Dana Cummings, however, wasn't cut out for that, and she crashed and burned when she attempted that type of work style. J.K. Simmons and Cynthia Dye Robinson's characters could be as blunt as heck with each other, and that was acceptable to them. But doing what they did might be a future HR complaint material for anybody else in a work environment. When we don't understand someone's work style and how to work with each other when we have those different work styles, this can lead to communication gaps and misunderstandings, which are a huge source of time leaks. How should you start learning about your team members' work styles? Start with yourself. Pay attention to how you prefer to work or how you don't prefer to work. Which ways give you the best as well as not so hot results? Once you become cognizant of these patterns, habits, or traits, share this information with your team along with the best ways to interact with each other. You probably don't want to just walk up cold to them or message them and blurt out your discoveries. Instead, ask if you can have a team meeting to discuss this because it will improve your team's productivity levels. Whew, this micro-learning episode was a little bit darker and more serious than the others, but I hope you find it just as valuable because gaining momentum and succeeding in life through better time management has only a little to do with monitoring your watches, timers, calendars, or whatever timekeeping tool you use. Time management is about so much more than that. Better understanding those we need to interact with every single day will take a little time, some initial discomfort, and effort on our part, but it will so improve your productivity. The Accountant was a great reminder of that. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Movies, Music, Momentum, Time Management Lessons Uncovered in Pop Culture. I'll be sure to put the trailer in the episode portal because I know it did not stream very well, along with a link if you're interested in finding a copy of The Accountant to watch or stream. Along the lines of the whole theme of being different, I'm going to take a different track now with this entire series. This was originally developed to give you a little break in the middle of your workday, in the middle of the week during this whole shelter-in-place COVID-19 pandemic. But now, thank goodness, we're slowly starting to reopen, so that means schedules will be changing. It'll be different, including mine. With that in mind, I'm going to move this from a set time of every Wednesday at 12 noon Central to different times every other week. So be sure to check the portal to see when the next ones are going to be scheduled. Right now, the next one up is going to be Wednesday, May 27th, 2020 at 9 o'clock a.m. Central Time, and we will be taking a look at the movie Thunderheart, starring Val Kilmer. Until then, I will leave you with one of my productivity mantras. Time management is all about mind management, and you do have the power to tell your time what to do.